Welcome back everybody. Today I will give you a step-by-step guide to building an underwater temple exploration adventure in Foundry Virtual Tabletop. I will give you all the notes, artwork, and battle maps you need to run our adventure in the video description. All you need to do is copy and paste them into your campaign. This is perfect for game masters that want an easy adventure for your next game with your friends. Our heroes begin their adventure at sunset, arriving at the Toasty Blanket Inn after a long day of travel through Drockwald Forest. While drinking ale and gossiping with the patrons, a villager stumbles into the tavern, clearly frightened. He tells everyone that he saw a translucent woman floating around in the forest at night. The villagers ask our heroes to investigate. They offer some free drinks, free food, a private room, and 70 brass pennies after the job is done. Now, if the players delay to negotiate, then make it clear how frugal everyone is living. The children all wear hand-me-down clothes that are 2 sizes too big. Everyone has calluses on their hands from the work they do every day. If the players continue trying to squeeze blood from a stone, then ask them to roll an average charm skill test or intimidation skill test for however they choose to convince the townsfolk to relent. A success will increase the reward by 10 brass pennies for each level of success, but the villagers expect convincing proof the problem is solved. If the players decide to investigate the town for clues on what could be going on in the forest, then you should tell them the villagers know the forest is dangerous and stay far away when possible. They have been attacked by beastmen and mutants from the forest, but it has been quiet for many years. The village is rustic and features a tavern, some farmhouses. Everyone is at home in their farmhouses or at the tavern. If the players go investigate Drockwald Forest during the day, they don't see anything, but during the night, they see a heavy fog spreading from the deepest part of the forest. Those that have the second sight talent can see traces of Dahar mixed in with the mist. Traveling into the mist for a few hours leads to a cave. Now, a successful average perception skill test reveals that the cave entrance did have rocks blocking the entrance, but someone has dug open a small hole into the cave with a shovel and pick. Going inside reveals a couple of skeletal remains that have been here for decades. One of them is obvious, the other one you have to go through the flooded cave in order to see. That's over there. You see a successful average perception skill test reveals that the cave entrance did have rocks blocking it. We already covered that. Oh, you also see a rope ladder leading down into a flooded passage. Those with the track skill can tell that one person has been in this cave recently and explored this chamber and descended deeper but has not returned. Investigating the skeletons revealed that they had robes on, tattered robes. If one of our heroes is a priest or has a similar career in religion, then they would know that these are priest robes. Otherwise, a lore religion or lore Reichland skill test is needed to obtain that information. They were driven crazy by the horror that lies further within before drowning themselves. Give the players a small hint about this by describing how the cave interior has crazy rambling scratch marks. The players can certainly block the entrance and go back to the Toasty Blanket Inn to declare the problem has been solved. In that case, you tell them that the villagers are deeply unsatisfied with their investigation. Tell the players the villagers will not pay until our heroes discover who uncovered the cave and get rid of whatever is in the cave that's causing the trouble. When our heroes descend into the darkness, for example, if Talut descended into this darkness here, he would go over get teleported to our other page, which is the Flooded Dungeon. When our heroes descend into the darkness, there is a rope ladder leading down into the underwater dungeon. There is an air pocket wherever the players see bubbles flowing upward if our heroes need to catch their breath. Characters have a swim speed in calm water of half their movement rate. The rules for drowning are on page 181 and let players hold their breath equal to their toughness bonus multiplied by 10 seconds. So for this case, a 16 divided by 2, 8. Inside the Flooded Dungeon, the players will discover that this was once a temple dedicated to Man, the god of the sea. However, Man-An, the god of the sea, Man-An's followers have fled from the temple and something else has moved in. One cult follower of Tesen, the chaos god, is working hard to free a mutated bog octopus that has fused with a warp stone over many decades. This bog octopus has the corruption moderate trait. He's close to activating the floodgates to open the cage, but faces a small problem. There are two ghosts, which are priests of Man-An, blocking him. One ghost is in the floodgates control room, and the other ghost is in the treasure room. The ghost will attack anyone that enters those rooms until they leave, and are otherwise content to linger in those rooms. The cultist is in the Kraken room here, and he has dark vision, the dark vision trait, and is waiting for the ghosts to leave the floodgate control room. The bog octopus you can keep over here. And this map here is freely, you can cut it out and actually have it as a physical battle map if you're playing in person, which is really nice. Here's a stat card for the blood octopus, the bog octopus, and then here's a stat card for the ghost. And here's an overview of the map. I'll go over the whole map in a minute. If the bog octopus is released, which you can do from the floodgate controls, you just turn this thing clockwise, the great game of cat and mouse begins, where our players try to escape before it catches them with its 8 tentacles. The bog octopus has its eyes gouged out, and its body is covered in strands of hair, similar to the hairs that cover a spider. When the cultist sees the bog octopus, he snaps his body toward the cave entrance and begins swimming madly. After a few seconds, the bog octopus dashes after him like a torpedo. He ignores everyone else that is staying still. Show the players how deadly this monster is by first eliminating the cultist. The bog octopus is blind and detects prey by feeling them with this hair mutation. If players move in any way in the water, they must roll a hard stealth check, or he will detect the changes in water current and move toward them. If he cannot detect anyone, he will begin a search pattern back to the cave entrance and wait there, disguised as a rock. The small connecting caves in the flooded dungeon are too small for the bog octopus. So there are these connecting caves here, and you also have a connecting cave down here, marked by this gray line, and you also have one over here. The connecting caves are too small for the bog octopus to move through. If the players want to bail out, they can find a secret way out of the flooded dungeon in the top left-hand corner that flows out to a nearby river. Now, if you stop the cultist or slay the bog octopus, then Man-An, the god of the seas, shows his gratitude by allowing the players to buy the blessed Man-An talent for 100 experience. This will give you the blessings associated with that deity. If the cultist is captured, then turning him into a witch hunter will reveal that he is a follower of Tzen, the Chaos God, who is trying to safeguard mutants and beastmen by unleashing this monster to destroy villages and reclaim land for the beastmen. The witch hunter decides that the players can be trusted and reveals that he knows that the cultist knew the location of the cultist base, which he extracted that information, and he intends to eliminate them. He hires the players to join in the hunt. Here are some sample players that I have created, some sample characters. If you want to know how to create a character, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, I have some tutorials on my YouTube channel. Now the tokens. I will provide artwork for the tokens, but you will need to make the tokens themselves, but I will provide the artwork for that. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us on an underwater temple exploration adventure in Foundry Virtual Tabletop. If you want to learn more about Foundry or Warhammer, we have more videos on our YouTube channel. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a grateful day.